Good morning, everybody. This is August 26, 2010 at Northwest UFO Chasers. And I wanted to go into a little bit of some subject matter that a lot of our readers and fans and people that call in have been asking lots of different types of questions about astral body space projection. And yes, it's a very interesting topic, and in that regard, uh, I want to say that first of all, we will be kind of jumping around in this subject matter, but the out-of-body experience is a very interesting one, and of course, as you know, at Northwest UFO Tracers, I coined the term "You too can high frequency resonate your pineal gland for inter and hyperdimensional space travel." Well, not until I actually astral projected for the first time, which was many years ago, there were many things that I learned along the way. I learned about the tunnel and seeing extraterrestrial beings, which I didn't know were extraterrestrial at the time, in that tunnel. Of the time tunnel, they call that, is the fourth dimensional time tunnel between the third dimension and the fifth dimension. Now, a lot of people don't understand the facts that about the third, fourth, and fifth dimensions. And what I can say about that is that if you are a two-dimensional flatlander and you are in flatland and you're driving straight ahead and you make a left and you make a right, and one day a third dimensional being reaches down and puts his finger down into two-dimensional flatland, the two-dimensional flatlander says, "Whoa, check it out, man, there's a third dimension." Well, in that same regard, there's also a fifth dimension. And that's exactly what happens is this alien intelligence, and there are many different types of alien intelligence, but that's how they travel, from Orion and the Pleiades and from wherever they're coming in the universe and the galaxy within the third dimension. And by the way, there are more than one universal dimensions, the one that we see, and inter and hyper and multiple dimensions out there. So basically, if you will, now let's go back and revisit some of the information that I was referring to last time on the broadcast. It was all about Dr. Schwaller's work at the Temple of Man. And Dr. Schwaller was a man who studied archaeology many years ago, and he was doing some work in Egypt at a place called the Temple of Man, and he began to understand and see that they were talking about the glandular systems of the body, like the pituitary gland. And he looked on the relief carvings of the walls and saw that the Egyptians were stepping out, and the pituitary gland was in every drawing. It was an indicator as to the starting point of manhood. And anyway, it turns out that modern medical science has discovered that the endocrine glandular systems of the human body pertain to all of these individual hormonal glands, ultimately culminating in what's known as the pineal gland. And of course, we know that the pineal gland is extremely important in order to inter and hyperdimensionally space travel. And the activation or release of chemicals within the brain to activate the pineal gland in order for you to move inter and hyperdimensionally is critical. So anyway, and then I just want to, I'm going to finish this point up. The point is that we all know that there are mental influences that we are being bombarded with by a multitude of extraterrestrial beings and creatures. And you want to get yourself in the right frame of mind so that you don't get impacted. But it is turns out, and it's going to be too much to go into at this point, but I'll begin to talk about it anyway. That Drunvalo Melchezidek talks about a spiritual philosophy and a protection system. He talks about the ancient Atlanteans 40,000 years ago. But the protection system is what you can call on to protect yourself. And in that regard, when you go to protect yourself, when you are astral traveling, enter and hyperdimensionally, uh, of course, who I call on is Jesus, because many, many, many years ago, my construct was, of course, I was raised as a Christian in the Methodist Church, and I believed in Jesus Christ, and I still believe in Jesus Christ, and I still love the Lord dearly. But I want to let you know that when I was astral projecting and traveling, when I was first learning, I was calling on that protection. And who came to me was the Nordic alien intelligence. And what they communicated to me was that they needed to modify my chromosomal switch set so that they could telepathically communicate with me. Now, this didn't just happen overnight, it happened over a period of time. But when they did that, and ultimately they did, and it took a medical procedure, of which I'll go into later, uh, and yes, I was abducted, and I was put on one of their spaceships, if you will, and medically modified, and my chromosomal switch sets were changed, and yes, I can communicate with them telepathically, and they are telling me some miraculously wonderful things that I have imparted to many different people all around the world, and a lot of you have asked me questions, and I've had these extremely great interchanges with different individuals on their abduction experiences. But what they, and they tell me different things at different times. So, you know what? Let's leave it at that, and we'll wrap it up there, and we'll come right back after the break.